Welcome back to the Engineerable channel. I needed some new HAAS compatible pull studs for these very inexpensive drill chucks that I found that are actually quite good. These drill chucks only cost $50 on Amazon. And I was going to buy some pull studs from HAAS, which are about $10 a piece if you buy them in bulk of 10. And then I saw on Amazon this quantity of 10 pull studs for like $25. And so I was going to check this out and see if they're any good. So stay tuned to find out how these Q-Work pull studs compare to the HAAS pull studs. So as you can see, there are 10 pull studs in this packaging. Each one is individually wrapped and packaged. And they look pretty nice. The fit and finish look nice. The threads might feel a little bit rough, but I think it should be fine. Looks like the surfaces are nicely machined. Let's see how it visually compares to this pull set I already have on here. And it's similar, but not exact. It's a little bit different from this pull stud. I should be clear that I don't know if this pull stud is actually a HAAS brand pull stud or if it's something else. It does have a part number here, RK31114. And it does have a serial number. So this is probably a nice pull stud. It is fairly similar. The most important dimensions are really this angle under here that's supposed to be 45 degrees, and the diameter on here and the diameter up here. Because as you can see, I have some other pull studs that work perfectly fine, and they have a very different height here, and this chamfer is not as long on top as it is on here. The lead-in on top is not quite as long. So let's take some measurements on this. The outer diameter on this one is pretty close to 15, 14.97, 14.96, 14.95. And the outer diameter of this one is also very similar, 14.93, 14.95. And this one is also the same thing, 14.93. So I know that these work well in the machine. Let's measure this shaft diameter here. That measures 9.95. And this one, the same thing, 9.96, 9.94. So seems pretty concentric when I rotate it. This top two, let's rotate this, 14.94. It's very concentric. The distance from the flat under here to the top of this angle is also important. So that's 25 millimeters. A little bit more difficult to measure here, but yes, 25 millimeters. And the same thing with that one, 25 millimeters. So the critical dimensions look good of this. It's a little bit difficult to measure this 45-degree angle under here, but visually it looks like 45 degrees. One thing I want to do is test the hardness to compare it to the other ones. So I'm going to start out with the HRC65 file. Definitely grabbing it. Actually, I should do it on this bare metal area. That feels like it's grabbing it. HRC60 is still grabbing it. HRC55 is still grabbing it. HRC50 still grabbing it. HRC45 still feels like it's grabbing it. So the hardness of this is somewhere between HRC40 and 45, because at 45 it was just barely grabbing it, and HRC40 feels like it's skating over it. HRC40 is not doing much to the surface at all, so it's somewhere close to HRC40, just a little bit over. So the hardness testing of this one shows that it's quite a bit harder. I was testing up here where the black coating has worn off some, and the HRC55 is just barely scratching it. The HRC60 is scratching it, so it's somewhere between HRC55 and 60. So it's 10 to 15 HRC hardness levels higher than the hardness of this. So this is a lot softer. Just gonna have to keep an eye on it to make sure it's not getting damaged. That's probably not a terrible thing, because it's better for the pull stud to be less hard than the puller in the machine, and so the pull stud wears out first. This other pull stud that I've been using for a long time, they tested a little bit softer than this one, but a little bit harder than the Q-Work one. And so these came out between HRC 45 and 50, probably closer to HRC 45. So that's the only downside I've seen so far of these Q-Work pull studs, is that they're a little bit softer than the other pull studs I already have. but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Before threading the pull stud into the tool holder, some anti-seize should be applied to the threads to keep it from locking up and be easier to remove in the future. And now for the ultimate test. Will it fit in the spindle and will this pull stud work well? Yep, no problem there. I've actually used it quite a bit already. No issues with engagement, disengagement, and it works well and seems to retain well. Although, you know, all I'm doing here is just drilling. I did notice some small marks underneath the sides developing from the ball detents. So the material is softer than the balls, which is probably desirable. But I noticed that the same marks are also visible on the known high quality pull studs that I've been previously using. Thanks for watching this video. Go check out some of my other videos. I have plenty of other videos about HAAS TM1 machining and repairs, and also a lot of other cool DIY and making videos. So see you in the next one.